Good morning, happy Monday, happy birthday to everybody. How are you doing today? As you can see, I'm in a very beautiful place right now. The sun is poking through the trees, just up there. Happy birthday. Welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. Every day is your birthday if you choose to celebrate life, and why wouldn't you want to celebrate life? You're still alive. You are not one of those people who woke up dead this morning. Okay, you didn't wake up dead. Anyway, it's a bit morbid, isn't it? Never mind. Hello, happy birthday to you. Even if it's not your real birthday, we do have a few people to say happy birthday to proper. And then we have a topic of the day, which is stop living somebody else's life. We'll get onto that a little bit later on. But to start with, let's wish happy birthday to ElleAura. I hope I pronounced that correctly, in Calgary, Alberta. Roger Miller, not that Roger Miller. You probably don't, because you live in America, you probably don't know who that is. I think he was a footballer for Cameroon, I think he was. Peter Morgan, Stacey Calder, David Stanley, also Canadian, I think. Is that right, David? I think you are. Andy Harrington, yes, really, that Andy Harrington. Happy birthday, Andy. Hope you had a lovely weekend. I know you did a presentation on Saturday to celebrate your birthday. So cool, hope that went well for you. Happy birthday to Jane Sherman and Sue O'Connell from long time ago. How are you doing, Sue? How's the family? Hope everything was well. Anyway, happy birthday to all of those people. We celebrate their birthdays by doing a little breathing exercise. Why not? One thing that you either want to get done in the next 24 hours. Breathe up, blow that candle out. And then 5 in through the nose. Put this hand on your heart. Light the candles on your other hand while you hold the breath. And then blow out the candles on this cake. But wish happy birthday to all those people whose real birthdays it is today. And then repeat it. What have you done in the last hour? Or what are you thinking about in the last hour or the last 24 hours, depending on how you want to do it? Sorry, 2. That's 2, isn't it? And do the same thing again. Hand on the heart. Light candles. Breathe them out. And then, third thing. What made you smile in the last 24 hours? And what are you grateful for in the last 24 hours? Same thing. Obviously you do the 4, then you do the 5. And then you get lightheaded like I just did. Way! Happy Monday, everybody. How you doing? Right, okay, back onto the topic in hand. Yes, we're a bit wobbly-handed today because I'm not propped up against a tree for a change. I am hands-free, sitting on this log, which is where I used to do my podcast from back in the day when I was doing my podcasts. And obviously we're in this lovely little wooded area here. Yeah, it's very beautiful. Don't waste your time living somebody else's life. I think we all do this without even realising we're doing it. We live the life that our parents want us to live. We live the life that our teachers wanted us to live. We live the life that society wants us to live. How many stories did you have growing up where the people around you said, "Oh, you're good at this," or "You're good at that. You should do this," or "You should try your hand at this," or "Dad was this, so you should do that." Or Mum was this, so you should do this. Or "You're no good at that, so you shouldn't do that." Even if maybe you hadn't really tried it properly, you just maybe you were really, really good at it. You just needed to fail first and figure out how to do it better. Because that's the thing, isn't it? I've said it a few times on this thing, that success is built on the bricks of failure. So you have to fail in order to be successful. And as a child or as a young person, if you failed at something, people would say, "Oh, you're not very good at that, so you shouldn't do that." And they would discourage you from even trying it. But it might just be that actually you really loved that thing, you really wanted to do that thing, but your first go is never going to be very good. You're never going to succeed straight away at anything. And if you are, you probably get bored of it eventually because you think, well, that was easy, that was too easy, what's the point of that? And of course we get pigeonholed, don't we? We get stuck in these little holes by the people around us as we're growing up. Before we have any idea of our own self, our own needs and wants and desires and so forth, we get pigeonholed by the people around us to say, this is who you are and this is how good you are. Hello, viewer, by the way. Who was that? Notice I think I look like a lady watching me. Hello, lady. Sorry, that sounded like a weird thing to say. I'm a lady. It's a commodity thing in the UK. But we can choose our own life. We can choose our own movie. We can write our own script. Once we become adults and once we have control over our own thoughts. Often, though, quite a lot of us don't recognise we have a control of our own thoughts. That's why I'm helping people to overcome depression and those negative thoughts, that ruminations, thinking about, I wish I'd done this, I wish I'd done more of this in my life, and oh, I wish I hadn't done that in my life. When I have my cube on me, I talk about this cube, it's like a mixed up Rubik's Cube, your life. And you think, how did my life get to this mixed upness? It's because people gave you different rules. They said, try this, try that, do this, do this. This is who you are. This is what you should be. This is how society works. All these rules, you kind of, and then you realise that actually some of these rules conflict. Like the classic one I always talk about is don't talk to strangers as a child, which is completely useless when you get into business later on in life, isn't it? Because of course you've got to talk to strangers. But if you've got in the back of your mind, oh, I mustn't talk to strangers, you get scared of talking to strangers, then yeah, you're going to ruin yourself in business, aren't you? Eat all the food on your plate. Yeah, that's a relic of the Second World War. We talked about inherited trauma, and that's kind of one of those things. Your grandparents teach your parents, and your parents teach you. The grandparents have some kind of trauma or some kind of belief of system of some kind. They teach the parents teach you. There's a classic story about a roast that people tell sometimes. They say a guy goes to his girlfriend's house for the first time, and she's cooking a roast. I know this is going to be it's going to sound sexist, but it is what it is. Again, this is historical stuff. And the girl cuts the two ends of the roast, puts it in the roasting tray and goes and coasts it. And the guy goes, why do you do that? Why do you cut the meat off the end? He says, oh, because it makes it taste better. He goes, does it really? That's interesting. So this is how my mum always did it. She always taught me. So to go around to the mums and say to the mum, and they go around to the mums for roast, and they ask the mum. Sorry, the mum does the same thing. So the boyfriend's watching the mum, and she does exactly the same thing. Get the roast out, cuts the two ends off, sticks it in the roasting tray, and they eat it. And then over dinner they say, well, Mum, why do you cut the ends off? And he said, oh, because it makes it taste better. He said, does it really? What? Well, how? Well, I don't know. That's just the way Grandma always used to do it. So they go around, and the following week they go and have a roast at Grandma's. Go into Grandma's, and Grandma does the same. Oh no, sorry, no. So Grandma gets the roast and just sticks it in the roasting tin and cooks it, and doesn't cut the ends off. And they go, what? Why? Why didn't you cut the ends off the roast, Grandma? He goes, why would I? And they go, well, you always used to. Oh yes, that was back in the old days when we had a small roasting tray and a small oven, and we didn't have enough room to get the whole roast in, so we cut the ends off to fit it into the roasting tray. And they go, oh, so that's not how you cook a roast? No, God no, that's not how you do it at all. Why did you think that? Because we learnt it from you when we were children. Well, Mum learnt it from you when you were children, and we learnt it from Mum when we were children, and it just became something that became inherited all the way down. You learnt these things, and it just became the way they were, and you had no idea why. It just was the way it was, and that's what can happen with our beliefs and our systems and stuff. And we can get stuck in these feelings, and I've completely gone off topic. It's kind of fun though. But the key thing I was going to say here, actually the point I was going to make, which I'm not really relevant for the story I'm telling now, but it's in the comments below, so you kind of have to understand this now, is that to avoid criticism of other people, because people are always going to criticize. Haters are going to hate, as my friend Taylor Swift would say. Haters are going to hate. And we're always going to worry about what other people say. We're going to worry about, well, what will other people say if I do this? Or what will other people say if I try this? And that can stop us doing anything in life. It certainly stopped me. That's a few times. But I heard a quote this morning from Aristotle, which is quite cool. I'm not sure it's a quote, it's a saying or something. He said, to avoid criticism, the only way to avoid criticism is to do nothing, be nothing, and say nothing. To avoid criticism, you have to do nothing, be nothing, and say nothing. Because somebody will criticize you no matter what you do. But even that doesn't work, does it? Because if you do nothing, you be nothing, and you say nothing, you'll get criticized for being nothing, doing nothing, and saying nothing. So even that's not going to work. So you're going to get criticized for that even so. So you may as well just do what you love. Do what you love, do what you enjoy, and to hell with the people who criticize you. Because there will be people out there who love what you do and the way you do it. And will be drawn to you because of that, and because of the way you do it and the way you say it. I'm starting to discover that myself. As soon as I start saying, right, I'm helping people with to get off antidepressants, I'm helping people to free themselves from depression. I do it in a particular way. It is a step-by-step process. It is baby steps. And people will say, oh, but you can't beat depression. I'm like, well, I disagree with you. I've done it, and I've seen loads of other people who have done it. If you don't believe you can overcome depression and get off antidepressants, then you definitely can't. And yes, I will accept that there are certain conditions where it might not be practical, but then you should be talking to your doctor about that and having a conversation with them. And if your doctor says you should be able to come off these antidepressants, you just need to sort your head out, for example, then go and sort your head out, and I can help you sort your head out. That's what I do. Don't worry about what other people say. You do what's right for you. And the other classic quote we often hear, attributed to Einstein, and somebody else as well, I can't remember who it was, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, I knew there was a reason I was sitting here. If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it'll feel like it's stupid its whole life, because you've judged it for climbing a tree. And a fish isn't good at climbing trees. A fish is good at swimming. If you judge a monkey by how well it can swim, it will feel like a failure its whole life. But you don't. You judge a monkey by how well it can climb trees. So what are you good at? What is your super skill? What is the thing that you love doing that you're worried that other people will judge you for if you do it? Comment below. Let me know. Let me know how you feel about that. What do you find other people telling you you're no good at that you actually think you're really good at? Let me know. Tell me in the comments below. Right, that's the lesson of the day from John today. Denley's Digest, which is always trying to be a shorter one, but it never ends up being quite as short as I would like it to be. Right, I'm going to head home and crack on with my day. Looking forward to a bit of sales training from Miss Cordelia Kate later on. I'm also listening to Daniel Priestley today as well. I wrote a book with his dad, The Camino Walk, My Camino Walk 2. If you want a copy of that, johnvdenley.com/Camino book. You'll also get there if you go to johnvdenley.com/Amazon. And if you want to support me financially without actually paying any money, every time you buy something off Amazon, go to johnvdenley.com/Amazon first. It'll take you to the Camino book. Don't have to buy the Camino book. Just go there and it'll set a cookie on your computer, and anything you buy off Amazon for 24 hours after that, I'll get a small cut of it. So why wouldn't you want to do that? Give me support, especially if you get stuff from these videos. Help me out on that respect. You can go to Patreon as well and pay me directly if you want to, but that's a whole other thing. Right, that's all from me for now. I am going to head home. Take care of yourselves, guys. Oh, I want to do the whole loving thing, don't I? This is quite interesting because this is a block of wood that I was sitting on the other day, and somebody's decided to burn it. But it's still there as a block. Okay, everybody. Love you all. Have a lovely Monday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.